Hey y'all, it's Pam with Living in Charlottesville. Thanks for stopping by. Today I'm actually going to take us on a tour via map video so you can see where you can consider sort of an overview sprinkling of where to live in Charlottesville. Now this time what I'm going to actually do, because I have done a similar video, but I stayed very much within the city limits. This time I'm actually going to go out and incorporate the county of Albemarle with it. So for example, I live in Albemarle, but my zip code is Charlottesville. So if this is for you, come along because I don't want you to miss it. So no matter where you're looking, if you're a first-time home buyer, if you're PCSing up to Rivanna Station, if you're coming to the university to teach or to attend, if you're coming here for a tech or health job or something else, everybody's question is, where should I look? Charlottesville, Albemarle, and the surrounding counties can be a very, very large area. Everybody's going to have a great fit at some place. So what I'm going to do today, I'm going to actually break it down into 5 sections. City of Charlottesville, which we've talked about, so I'm not really going to touch on it. I'm going to talk about it as a starting point and a drop-off point. But we are going to actually hit the south, the east, the north, and the west, going over towards the mountain. And then hopefully, once you know which area you're looking at, you can call me or drop me an email or a text, and we can figure out if that's going to be the best place for you when living in Charlottesville. So we are going to get started, and the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to actually pull up the map so that you can see what I'm seeing. And that way, you know what I'm talking about. So let me put my eyes on. So right here, you can see I've pulled up the county of Albemarle and the city of Charlottesville. The rest is just the Commonwealth of Virginia. So as I expand upon it, you can see there's the city of Charlottesville in the little area right here. And there we go. And then, so that's city of Charlottesville. And then when I go out, the county of Albemarle is actually going to be surrounding that in that red area, that other shaded area. So first we're going to talk about delving south. And then we're going to go over to the east, up to the north, and over to the west. Now, again, this is not going to be a real comprehensive because obviously there's a lot and I don't want to put you to sleep. You're going to get overwhelmed and I don't want that. So the first thing is I'm going to bring it up. All right, so here we are. I've actually brought up and expanded so you can see. Right here is going to be the southern part of Charlottesville. One of the main neighborhoods in Charlottesville, actually one of the original areas of Charlottesville, is going to be Belmont. And that's going to be located on the south side of Charlottesville, down also very close to the downtown mall, Ix Park, and in a very cool, eclectic kind of area. Looking at this, let me put my eyes on. What I want you to notice, right here is Belmont, here's Lake Vernovia. So this gets into, when I expand this, you'll see, there we go, much better. So when I expand this, you can actually see where most of the neighborhoods are going to be. So here again is Belmont, Fry Springs. Fry Springs area, another original section of town, very acclimated towards the university, which is going to be up here, if you can imagine that. This, where you're seeing Haverty's, Starbucks, and that is a brand new section of shopping center. It's called 5th Street Station. I'm going to bring that up here. Actually, let me see if I can bring that up. But you're going to see these neighborhoods along in here. Neighborhoods like Lake Vernovia, Avon Park, Avinity is going to be in here, Marshall Manor. Whittington is going to be out in Albemarle County here. So what are the differences? Well, along this line, let me pull that one up first. You're going to actually, Avon Street Extended, these homes are going to be HOA type communities. Most of these are going to actually be in neighborhoods such as HOA neighborhoods, some amenities, not a lot. Some are actually going to be townhome communities, such as a predominantly townhome. But then some communities such as EVERYTHING are going to have a combination of townhomes, not with single family homes, but with attached villas and patio homes. So all of that is going to be very much so right in this area. Then it actually gets into, you see that 20 goes down, and let me just sort of zoom down here so you can see 20. So this is 20, we're traveling down 20, and 20 goes down all the way into Scottsville, which is going to be the sort of the end area for Albemarle County. The farther away you get from the city of Charlottesville, the more rural it's going to get. So if you want more rural, then well, don't really want up here with the Lake Vernovia area. I want more so going south. The other area that I would like to point out to you, so just over on the side is actually 5th Street. If you go out 5th Street, there's a couple of lovely neighborhoods, Mosby Mountain, Whittington. Those are very much so single family homes, more on the higher end. So some of those homes you're probably looking at starting at about 800, 900,000 and going well up into the multiple millions of dollars. The other one here that you see is going to be Southwood. And you can see that right there. So I'm going to actually do a video about that. It is going to be Albemarle County's largest community with a 15-year build out and over 1,000 homes in it. It too is going to be a mixed use development. So, but I won't get into that just because I'm going to do a video on that later, but it's going to be around a while. It's going to be building and coming out a while. So there you go. South of Charlottesville. If you're looking for south of Charlottesville, that's what you can see. All right. So we're going to move on and head over to the east side. So going south, Belmont, 5th Street to Scottsville. Scottsville is going to be borderlined with the James River. So it's very much so known for the James River because actually the James River has flooded Scottsville. They actually have a lot of floodplain, and they also have the walls that pop up to prevent it. It goes from very urban on the city side, and the farther out, it's much more rural. Still active farming. There are working class and a standard mix of families from 5th Street on down. Great and active mixture of neighborhoods on the city's edge, including EVERYTHING, Foxcroft, Mill Creek, Lake Vernovia, all of those. What type of homes are you going to find in these areas? Well, it's a nice mix of single family, duplexes, townhomes, and several new construction communities. You can also really find a full gamut of pieces and update levels with it, from a squeaky new, the dust is, and actually you get to pick out all your stuff and build, all the way down to, I've seen some tear down nightmares. So you have that full gamut. What kind of people live here? Well, families, generational homes are in Belmont, some empty nesters, single professionals, due to that proximity to UVA, including the hospital. New construction is showing up, bringing next step single family homes such as Galaxy Farms, which are single family homes in the 800,000 and up, but they have amazing views. So, South side for you, south side, I don't know. Give me a call, shoot me a text, or drop me an email, and let's figure it out. Okay, so we've done the south. Let's bump up to the east side. And again, I am going to pull up and share my screen for you. So again, here's city of Charlottesville, and going east side. So remember, coming out of the city of Charlottesville, or a couple of our main thoroughfares are going to be 250 and 64. Both of those are going to run from east to west, west to east. The only difference is in them. As you can see, 64 is an interstate. 250 can be 4 lanes. It can be 2 lanes. So either one, it doesn't matter. 250 is going to take you longer. It's going to be a slower travel time because the speed limits are going to go anywhere from 35 to 55. Interstate 64 predominantly is going to be in this area. Once you jump on at Pantops, is actually going to be 70. So looking at this real quick, in this overview, I want you to see. So again, here's Pantops, here's City of Charlottesville. This over here, when you get down about 45 minutes away, is going to get you into the Richmond, Virginia area. So we actually do see a lot of folks who split households. Some will work in Richmond and some will work in Charlottesville. So you'll find those kind of folks along this path. What kind of houses are in here? Starting with the Pantops area. So Pantops area, you're going to have a lot of business. It's going to be a lot of business residential mixed. A lot of townhomes. There's actually some newer construction on Pantops as far as townhomes, and there are some single family homes in a residence called Cascadia, which is actually going to be right here. It's next to Fontana. Those are predominantly single family homes. Both of those, all of these neighborhoods along in here, Ashcroft, especially Ashcroft, you're probably looking at, you can't get into for under about $800,000 or $900,000. It's located up on top, going up a mountain, so you have some tremendous views. Fontana, Cascadia, which is over here, it's just not labeled yet because who knows how Google does their thing. Much smaller lots, but expensive homes. Some will be attached, predominantly single family, but notice the proximity to Dardentown Park. This is one of your major dog parks and one of your recreation areas for soccer and play areas, and like I said, dog park. So if any of that is your need, and I'm sure that is one major reason, because this puts you a spit outside of Charlottesville, but you have a lot of rural amenities to it. All right, so when I come down here, you'll see that it gets more spread out. So we've seen Keswick, Glenmore area. So you can see that down here. Glenmore is going to be down here. Remember Glenmore? So this is Glenmore. Remember Glenmore, if you want to see it more in depth, I did a $525,000 home tour in Glenmore. Glenmore is one of the few gated communities. It has a lot of amenities. It has a wide variety of folks that live there as well. They offer everything from equestrian to pools to pickleball, tennis, but their main focus is it's all around a golf course. So along here, much more rural, not as many neighborhoods. Now there are some neighborhoods in the plan, but if you're trying to get close to Charlottesville and on the east side, so it's easy to go to Richmond, the east side might be a good fit for you. Okay, so here we go. We've done south. We have done the east. Going south, you're going to Scottsville. You're getting very, very rural. You are going towards the river, and you're going towards southwestern parts of Virginia. The east side, you're looking at going towards Richmond, which is our state capital. And we have a lot of people who work there because Richmond is really, when you think city, that's definitely much more Richmond. Because remember, Charlottesville wants to be a city, but we are more of a quaint, small, wannabe city. That's the only way to put it. Okay, so now we're going to go north. We're going to go north up past Charlottesville. So let me pull this up again and screen share with you. All right, so we just came. This was east. This was going out 64 and 250. Here's the city of Charlottesville. You can see the line right there. Outside the line. So this is all where we were. So now we're going up and along here. We're going to the north side of Albemarle County. So as I blow it up, I'm going to go a little bit slower because I do want you to sort of follow along. City of Charlottesville's down here. Once we get into Rio Road and Hydraulic, 29 North is going to be our number one thoroughfare. 20 is also another way that we can get out to Barbersville and up north going towards Orange and locations that way. But 29 is going to be our predominant. Now you can also see a lot of, you can catch and connect, so that it's not that you are desolate by any means. So blowing this up slowly but surely. So here's the area for the tip of Charlottesville. When we're coming up here, you're going to start seeing the neighborhoods up here. So I've talked about Charlottesville Albemarle Airport. So again, that gives you another pinpoint as to where we are. So blowing it up. Okay, so overview real quick here. Everybody knows I'm partial to the 29 North area. It's actually where I grew up, but when we moved out here, we were in the middle of a cow pasture. It's also one of the growth plains for the county of Albemarle, but it's just, as you can see, the things popping up, there's little to no schlep factor. We have all of the great pet care. We have all the great groceries and pharmacies and banks. It's just really, really easy. Now, when people do complain about traffic, they're probably talking about 29, but I don't find it to be that big of a deal. Here is your City of Charlottesville. You're coming up, you're going to start going past what used to be the Fashion Square Mall. It's actually been bought 3/4 by Home Depot. So if you come join us living in Charlottesville in the next couple of years, you'll start to see the transformation. Carsbrook, as you know, is one of my favorite, because Carsbrook actually connects with about half a dozen other neighborhoods. So this area by itself gives you price points, I would say anything from $400,000 up to $1.5 million. And it can be anything from resale up to a new construction, anything from standalone, detached single family home, up to the townhomes in places like down. So you can see I've increased it a little bit more, and you can see how Carsbrook feeds into about a half a dozen different neighborhoods and areas. So again, you have a full variety, full gamut. Everything, you've got Fieldbrook, Westmoreland, Still Meadows, Raintree. You come down and you have new construction in Dunlora, and that will just take you down into River Run. There's going to be some new communities down there as well. Most of these are going to be an HOA style community, and most are going to be pushing the active side. The older neighborhoods, Carsbrook and Westmoreland, Fieldbrook, those kind of places potentially have a voluntary HOA, so they're not a very active HOA, but a full gamut of what kind of homes you can buy. As we're driving down 29, Polo Grounds Road, this is a huge development, Brookwood, I believe it's called, that is going in right now. It's being done by one of our quantity builders. So I'll just leave it at that. Next to that, you're going to see Hollymead and Forest Lakes. Forest Lakes actually sort of rainbows around Hollymead. It's fairly large. Again, a good variety of houses. Most are going to be pushing well over 10, 15, 20 years old. Hollymead, you're definitely pushing 30 to 40-year-old houses. Very sweet little neighborhood. The Hollymead does not have a lot of amenities. Forest Lakes, you would have 2 pools, play areas, tennis, clubhouse, things like that. Going up, this is going up north, smaller neighborhoods such as Airport Acres. There's, again, sprinkling between houses built in the 70s and 80s, going on up to being built in the early 2000s. Camelot, Briarwood, again, very, very nice little neighborhoods, smaller houses because, again, we're getting out. North Point is actually a lot of townhomes. So going up 29, again, lots of little communities. Some are being built into and added onto. One of the main reasons we see people moving up here into this area, phenomenal feedback on the schools, and you can look that up. A lot of these neighborhoods don't have HOAs, but then you have some that have come recently. Right here is going to be your Rivanna Station. So your National Ground Intelligence, Department of Defense, that is where that community is. In response to that, there has been a very large building all up and through here. So it's added into the Briarwood, Camelot. Those are 75% townhomes because, again, they're trying to get a mass number of homes into a very small footprint, but you're going to see a large conglomerate of the folks who are at NGIC and DOD at the Rivanna station. Going up, you're also going to see Emerson Microair right here. Used to be GE. It's one of our major manufacturer employers. So that's another reason that pulls people up on the north end. And as we just travel along, Watts Passage, Fraze Mill Road, these are going to start getting into some other neighborhoods. Again, a little more rural. Some are not going to be in a neighborhood. Some are, there can be very small neighborhoods, 15, 20, 30 homes. And then here's your line for the county of Albemarle right here. So that's on 29. Okay. South, rural going towards the water. East, going towards the ocean, going towards the state capital, and now north, going to our nation's capital. 29 will take you right into Washington, D.C. and Northern Virginia. Last one, we're going to head over to the west. Here we go. Here's our orienting. So city of Charlottesville, we've done south, we've done east, we've done north. Now we're looking at the west side. So really going out and about in that general area. So this kind of area. So let me blow this up for you. Okay. So going out to the east side, you're looking at going out Barracks Road. Again, we're going to be having that 250-64 because remember they run east-west. So going out this way, you get into a lot of old country living. So everything from little ramblers that are 50, 60 years old up to very large estate homes that are on 5, 10, 15 acres. Again, just a smattering of neighborhoods among single-family homes. It's a very interesting dynamic. Some of the biggest areas you're going to see are going to be Owensville. Again, very rural. You're looking at still a lot of farms, still quite a few working farms. Whitehall, beautiful, beautiful community. A couple private schools out there. A lot of runners go out there because of the roads and the ability to take in the scenery and get some distances in. Then you get down here to Crozet. So the two things you see here, Beaver Creek and Mint Springs, that's two of Albemarle County's recreation sites. Crozet, the biggest neighborhood in Crozet is going to be Old Trail. Old Trail, remember, is where Evan Almighty was filmed before it was built. Crozet has been in the process of being built for what now? Close to 15, 20 years. That's also the location of where the Western Albemarle High School is. And it is a huge, huge area for, especially when you get into Batesville and all these, for vineyards, breweries, and a lot of tourism. You can see there's a whole bunch, Highlands, Western Ridge, Laurel Hills, Gray Rock. All of these are predominantly newer, meaning a lot of them have building within the past 20 years. So mostly single family homes. You do see some townhomes, especially in Old Trail. You're going to see a lot of townhomes in Old Trail. Most are going to be single family homes in Crozet. And then you get into the rest of it, you can see Old Trail right there. Old Trail also has a phenomenal golf course as well. When you start getting out though, you see that the green pops up and you get back into the rural. So there are still plenty of working farms, working vineyards, and actually also some orchards out there as well. Where this takes you, if you notice, so there you go. There's the mountain. So when we say, I'm just going to run over the mountain, that's what we're talking about. And you've seen that I've gone over there and done some stuff in Waynesboro. But again, if you're living in Crozet, it takes you less time to run over the mountain to Target and Coles than it does to come into Charlottesville, and then go up in this area because that's where the target is. So you can see it's a much shorter path that way. So it's convenient in that aspect. This is also, quite honestly, you'll hear a lot of people say how west is best. But again, it's a feel how you feel in that area. It's also where people say that we have private public schools. So depending on the diversity you want and the inclusion you want, it may or may not be west is best for you. Last and not least, obviously, city of Charlottesville, right here in the center. We've talked about it. I know I've given you everything. We're going to be doing more so, looking at more neighborhoods independently because that was requested. We're going to be talking about living downtown, talking about the arts and things like that. But in general, city of Charlottesville, sweet, nice, small area. Remember, it's not that big. And what feels like half of it, it's not. But is the University of Virginia, then it really does feel even much more small. So there you go. We've talked about city of Charlottesville, north, south, east, west. Wide variety. Just depends what you want, where you're looking for, where do you want to be near. And the other thing is depending on where you're looking, is internet. Some places have fiber optic, some still have dial-up, and some, DSL and cable. So really that can also be a reason that you look in one area over another. But no matter what the reason, give me a call, shoot me a text, write me an email. Let me know what it is you're looking for and how I can get you living in Charlottesville. Until next time.